Nintendo has finally revealed what the sequel to Breath of the Wild is gonna be called, and it's much cooler than we expected. The new game is called The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, aka TOKT. Though the upcoming game in the franchise has a lot to prove, is it going to live up to the same level as its predecessor or be even better? Let's look at what we know about it. Starting with Breath of the Wild 2's name finally revealed. Small features that have been taken for granted in most modern-day open-world games are coming to the newest Zelda game, including gliders, teleportation points, and more. A lot of the game's hype comes from fans' expectations of it being just as good, if not better, than the critically acclaimed Breath of the Wild. The first game allowed players to roam through the Hylian fields and complete quests in any order they liked. That is, if they even wanted to complete all of them. So, what does the new game bring to the table? Well, like many Nintendo franchises, it's going to be an exclusive on the Nintendo Switch. The game was never called Breath of the Wild 2, but it's what fans started calling it after the team confirmed that it was a project under work. Earlier, during an interview IGN had with the company's marketing manager, Brian Trinan, he explains that they've kept quiet about the game's plot to keep the secret a little longer and to get fans riled up. But they decided to put out its real title, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Internally, the company called it a sequel to BOTW, and it was referred to in the same way on all official materials, even the trailer. With that said, the marketing manager and other reps from the company were pretty much okay with people calling it the sequel whatever they wanted to. But this does debunk the rumor that the game was going to be called Breath of Duality. Moreover, what we know about Tears of the Kingdom's story. While Nintendo hasn't put out details about the plot yet, could it be another rescue mission, especially from what we've seen from the gameplay trailer? But the true identity of its villain and the plot's driving point is still a mystery. The game's producer, Aija Onuma, said that this time the game is going to be much darker. This could be a clue about its plot. Additionally, the team working on the game, especially younger members, drew a lot of inspiration from games such as Red Dead Redemption 2, though it also takes visible inspiration from Skyrim, as the game's director was playing the game as she worked on the first part. Furthermore, Tears of the Kingdom's gameplay. Tears of the Kingdom is building off the mechanics of its first game, but seem to be adding in new powers as we've seen in the trailer. The character can now be phasing through the floor of a floating road. Moreover, he can now drive a huge ball covered in spikes up a mountain and even through a horde of enemies. These powers seem to be linked with the stasis rune we've seen from the first game. It only makes sense that newer abilities are going to expand on the Sheikah slate. Along with some huge open landscapes that the first game showed off, there's also going to be sporadic but still explorable land over the clouds as well. This reminds fans of the franchise's previous games, such as Wind Waker, the Zelda game that used a lot of remote islands. Each island in the game featured its quests and mini-games to make them stand out, stopping them from turning into just bland masses of land. However, it's not confirmed and is more of a hope rather than a feature we'll sure to get. Given that the game shows off the first Zelda story, it's set furthest back in time. This allows it to draw a lot from Skyward Sword's lofty design, though this connection has mainly been drawn because of the floating islands in the sky. Moving on to more patent hints at Tears of the Kingdom mechanics. Nintendo recently filed 3 patents that look into the gameplay mechanics of the game. First spotted by Game Reactor, the patents have been officially registered with the WIPO, which is the World Intellectual Property Organization. Each of the 3 patents has diagrams showing what Link's abilities for the Tears of the Kingdom could be. For instance, the first patent tells us that now we've got the ability to perform a special action if the character is falling, such as a shooting action, which could only mean we're going to get to shoot an object or maybe even a weapon. The diagram had a surprising similarity to what we've been able to see in the E3 trailer. Not just that, but another patent shows that now the character can also phase through platforms, along with the reversal ability that we've been able to see in the trailer as well. While it seems as though all these abilities were hinted at by the trailer, Nintendo hasn't said anything that might confirm these mechanics. So at the moment, moment, it's best to treat these with a pinch of salt, but these would admittedly be a cool addition to the game. Additionally, the Zonai tribe and Typhlo ruins. There are a lot of theories going around after the trailer went up. One of them is that the new game is going to take our main characters 10,000 years in the past, when Ganon was sealed by the Zonai. This further explains the similarities between the trailer and Skyward Sword we've seen with floating islands, monsters, and structures in the landscape. The Zonai are a warlike tribe that uses magic and used to live in Hyrule. They're the people that built the ruins in the Faerun region in BOTW, along with the Typhlo ruins that are found in complete darkness. With similar motifs and brick patterns, these put up a remarkable resemblance to what we've seen in the new trailer. Could this mean that the characters' travels are somehow related to the tribe? Could we find out more about where they went and if any of them still survive? Similarly, Twilight Princess and the Twily people. Next up in a sea of endless theories include a previous game, Twilight Princess, specifically the Twily race. Both trailers put out by Nintendo have had visual qualities similar to their older games, bright teal colors that have only been used before to signify the Twily and their magic, along with weird symbols that float in the air. The theory points toward the magical blue hand we see holding a mummified character getting its power from the Twily and their realm. Could they influence the story? Coming up, Link, but evil. Another interesting theory floating around is that both Ganon and Link are connected. Let's assume that the mummified creature is Ganon. Or is it him? A user on Reddit pointed out that he doesn't look like the character's usual self and could be Link. Specifically, the version of Link is shown in the tapestry in between the original fight between Ganon and Hyrulean armies. Moreover, the theory suggests that parts of the trailer that take place in the overworld are actually in reverse, and that Link gives in to malice and turns into Ganon. To give this theory some credit, there are some obvious similarities in both of their designs. These are but some of the theories that make the most sense, but still only scratch the surface of just how many directions the game could take. Furthermore, the game designers making use of influences from older games can't just be a coincidence. Next up, do we get to play as Zelda? While it was a nice hope while it lasted, we're probably not going to play as the princess, unless the company is hiding a secret for the game's official release. Not just that, but Alexander_Want on Reddit recently spotted an interview the YouTube channel Lega Hyrule had with Abaldi, who's potentially behind the voice of Daruk. Taking a look at how the first game ended, the appearance of the character in the sequel is admittedly odd, but at the same time, it's just as intriguing. Fans have started to wonder if the game could be set in the ancient past, which isn't anything new for a Zelda game. Of course, Nintendo is keeping quiet about it, and we know nothing about the game's plot until details are officially announced. Finally, too good for the Switch? While the game's recent footage is certainly impressive, is it too good to be out on the Switch? According to exports over the Digital Foundry, the game has several graphical features that the console is going to struggle with. Moreover, the latest trailer shows that it now puts out a much higher quality image than what we're used to seeing on the Switch. Some of these graphically intensive features include volumetric clouds and even longer draw distances. Though it is a thrill that the game could hint toward a newer version of the console, but we're going to have to wait on any kind of confirmation regarding that. That's a wrap for this video. What are your thoughts on the Tears of the Kingdom? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.